need to be done. So we'll send those to you.
Awesome.
And then at the end of the year, keep in mind the transfer resolutions we'll need to do and potentially add the one for the
Let me ask you this.
PBC.
Once those transfer resolutions are done, do you want Scott to email those to you immediately?
That would be-
Apparently there is a delay in them
That would be
getting
fine.
to you.
Yep, that would be fine. Just to, as soon as they're approved, they can email them to us. And then at that point, then, yeah, and then that way, cause essentially what happens is we get the general ledger and stuff from the county as quick as we can after the end of the year, and then make those adjustments that we need to in preparation for the budget. So I'd say as soon as they're approved.
Is there anything that we can do to help expedite getting these audits done?
No. Can't really go into detail on it, but this year was unusual. Primarily being because of, the only thing with Cheyenne County that made any difference was we had to do the federal compliance audit, which slows us down a lot because that's very, very involved. And the thing with that is we had one other one we had to do this year as well, which it's very difficult to anticipate and schedule those and know year to year who's going to require one and that type of thing. So that's some of what slowed us down a little bit this year. And then there's some other
So there's
issues.
no real rules of thumb that you could go by.
Yeah, that's the problem. And we had one other client in particular was slowed us down a lot. So without going into detail about that, but
Well, anything that
essentially,
can help.
typically, I guess we'd never really like to finalize the audit until after the budget is
Budget's set.
substantially complete. Would be the optimal timing for us is if around the time of the budget hearing we could deliver the final audit, which in a normal year I think without the compliance audit is doable. So, but that doesn't mean we can still get the transfers done way before that because we'll know the amounts and that type of thing. So that's just a matter of we need to get them sent to you and presented to the commissioners for approval and get them sent.
Because you have to wait so long after the first year for period
encumbrances.
13
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. And
before they
typically,
start.
you're not going to want to, because we've done that before sometimes, tried to get a quicker start on something. And then things inevitably happen in February and March that are encumbrances or just random adjustments. And so then you have to go back and redo it anyway. So typically we're really not going to start a lot of the work until at least April, just from that standpoint to make sure all the year-end stuff's cleaned up. And so that would be generally, I guess, the optimal schedule of what we usually try to do. But it's kind of a tough thing to schedule, isn't it? No.
So do we need also a resolution on when the transfer should be made? Or are they is that written in the resolution?
I believe it's in the resolution because it's approved up to a certain amount and then pending the audit, I think is probably the way it's phrased.
It just says subject to budget authority.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess we usually like to at least just present them and get general approval from the commissioners before they're actually made, but I don't know that they require another resolution or anything like that. So.
I don't care. I just
Yep.
need to know.
Yeah,
Yep.
when.
Yep, I know.
So I guess you guys need to make that decision and let me know.
Well, I know we've addressed it.
Well, I think what Dolores is getting at is, okay, the reason I asked about the resolutions is for some reason there was a breakdown in communication and they didn't have the year-end resolutions and didn't get them until like June or July. So it's like, okay, how can we address this issue? Then the next thing was procedural wise, because what Mapes and Miller does is they look at the budget and they calculate a specific amount per budget authority that can be transferred. Well, so that information is sent. Well, the transfers aren't done. And so therein is another breakdown whereby it's like, okay, here's what was told to be transferred, but this hasn't been transferred, so who, when, where was to do what, when. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, so that at the beginning of the year, you know, we've already got those resolutions done. We wait a certain period of time for that period 13 to come through. They already have the resolutions to determine that the amounts that can be transferred. So I guess the next step is, once those amounts are given to Dolores needs to get in here and advise the commissioners what is going to be transferred. That is approved, then transfers are done. I think is the optimal way to do it.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay? And because, you know,
Type that
no one has their transfers to do anything.
Well, I gave them, when they were working on the budgets, I presented those to the commissioners that day, so that when they went through each department, they would have the amount that they would get transferred. But after that, nothing happened, so I didn't know what the next step was. So if I need to come and ask,
Let's do it that way.
Yeah.
okay, I can handle that.
And that way
Because you're the one who know what.
You're the one that
does
needs
the
to know it,
transfers.
so.
But
Yeah, because I thought when that email came out, and then we got those amounts showing what was going to be there, I thought it was all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was brought to my attention, no, transfers haven't been done, so,
okay.
because no one has their money to spend for any of their improvements.
And then I got copies if you want them. That's just the audit we did for the Public Building Commission. There's no reason we need to go over it here, but that's
Okay.
just copies you guys can have
Well,
for your reference.
thank you, Brian.
So that way you know we actually did something.
Well, and we're appreciative because we're in better shape than we thought we were going to be.
I know, that's what John said when during budget time he was surprised that
Well,
it turned
it's
out.
because of a pipeline is the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that helped
there
out.
was another county that went up more than us. I can't think of what it was because it was at that November abstract meeting, and they went up more than us. And we were kind of talking with that clerk, and it's like, it's pretty scary when that happens. You go up that much, when you think you're gonna cut, and you go up that much, you wonder what you did in the July abstract. Did you do something wrong, or?
I think these are extra copies for,
Is that,
This is public building.
that's the
Public
Public
Building.
Building Commission.
Public Building,
Yeah,
okay.
that's just,
my bad.
all right, I guess.
Okay,
Holler if you ever need anything.
thank you
Start again
again.
on another year.
Yeah, never ends.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
Be safe, man. Let's take about a 3-minute break. Can you get down there and back in 3 minutes, Willie?
I'll race you.
All right, let's
So do
go.
we need to go ahead and get approved? Can we do that really?
Yeah, sure.
So, I want to go ahead and get the approval to do the transfers that the auditors submitted for 2018.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to go ahead and, well, I guess you better look at it first, hadn't you?
These are they haven't changed any of the figures from when I gave them to you back when we did audits.
Just talked over, right?
So what am I looking at?
That's what was
So
left
these
over
are
in their
the
budget
different
for capital improvements.
departments, and these are the different funds, and these are the amounts here in this column that are going to be transferred.
So it's just the transfers, what we
That
just talked
the
about.
auditors
Yeah.
submitted from the budget.
So we just need a motion to go ahead and approve the transfers as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfers as presented.
I second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
But what about this, where we give that money to the fair board? You said we need to get some money transferred over?
No. The fund still has a positive balance. It's just that we spent more than what we
What was
brought in
budgeted?
that year.
Yeah, we did, we can't
What was
predict how
budgeted
much.
for that year, so,
Yeah.
But if we'd have taken some of it out of the alcohol fund, we wouldn't have, that wouldn't have happened.
right. I don't know that you could have done that, though. The alcohol
that.
fund would have to
That
be
couldn't
used for
go.
certain
Oh,
items,
okay.
for
All right.
alcohol and drug. So,
Do you need a signature on here anywhere? No, it doesn't look like.
Okay,
All right, thank you, Dolores.
thank you.
Now we're gonna have a 5-minute break. Oh.
A report for that